It's Friday. It's wet outside. It's going to be raining until tomorrow. So the weather says it's going to be raining until tomorrow. So I thought I'd come down and just talk a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Put in a little bit of work because that's what we're doing over here, right? We're working, right? We're striving for greatness, right? We're pushing through um, all our storms and we're learning from them as well. We're learning from them, right? We're using those storms to make us stronger, to make us better, to make us wiser, right? It's how you become wise. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your mistakes and then you go back and you correct your mistakes. If you can, if you're in a position to do that, you go back and you correct things. So before I get deep into what I want to say, let me just start by just saying, kingdom over everything. And, we're just going to keep pushing forward. We're just going to keep working over here. We're going to keep getting better. We're going to keep getting stronger. So I just came on to share something because this month, 7 years ago, I had made a decision. I was sitting in my boy's backyard, right? And things, I just wasn't in a good position in life at that time. Um, we ride high and then, things knock us back down so we can learn from it and we can internalize it, use that energy to make us stronger and to open our eyes just a little bit wider to who we need to be in Christ, right? Who the Elohim wants us to be. Most people fight against most people fight against their calling. Most people fight against their calling. And when you answer your call, man, everything changes. Everything changes. Everything changes. But as I was saying, this month, 7 years ago, I was sitting in my boy's backyard and I was having a beer. And still my boy to this day, I love him to death. I was having a beer. I remember it was a Coors Light. And it got real breezy, man. It was already dropping down to about 30 degrees already. It started getting cold really early that year. So by this time of the year, by this time back in 2016, it was already dropping down to like 35 degrees, 40 degrees, and that's pretty cold. So I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man, there's got to be a better way to do things. There's got to be a better way to do things, man. And I dropped all my pride. I dropped every ounce of pride that was in my body and my soul. I let it go right then and there in that moment. My boy he had left. He had went to the mall to go do something. And he asked me if I wanted to go. And I was just like, nah, man, I need to, get my thoughts together. And, I had came to this clarity sitting back there. I'm just like, man, I'm in this position to where I really have no choice but to submit to the Elohim. I mean, you have a choice, but when the Elohim is calling you, when he has something great that he wants you to do over your life, he's going to put you in a position to where you have no other choice but to turn to him. And at that point in time, I had no other choice but to turn to him. So what I did was I cried, man. I cried and I poured the rest of that beer out. I didn't even finish it. I cried. Cried for about a half hour, man. And I said to myself, I'm like, I want to live different. I want to be different. I want to do things different. I want to be better for myself. I want to be better for the Elohim. I want to be better for my siblings, for my cousins, for my family, for the people that love me, and for the people that I love. Not people pleasing, but I just want to be better. And I had made that conscious decision to fully submit to the Elohim's law and his way of living. And what I did was I Googled up detox. Yeah, I Googled up detox, and in the area. And a lot of people know what that is, right? Not that I had an addiction or anything like that. It's just I just wanted to just clean up. I just wanted, like I said, I wanted to be better. So I googled the number and I called, nervous, nervous, didn't know what to expect. Never went through the process of any of that, just nervous, just blindly just making a decision to do that. But the Elohim had put it in my heart to do that. I'm going to start you from ground zero. I'm going to take you. I want you to get away from everybody. Don't tell anybody anything. Just get away from everybody. Make this decision and I'll walk you through. And I'm going to make you 10 times stronger than the people that you normally be around or the people that used to know you. Right? So they came and picked me up. Well, no, I called my other boy. And my boy Pat. I called him up and I remember, I said, oh man, I need you to take me to this place. And he came and picked me. He was like, you serious about this? I said, yeah, I'm serious about this, man. I need you to come take me to this place. So he came and picked me up. And on the drive, he was just like, yo, man, like, you really need this? Like, you sure you really need this? And I was like, I do, man. I do. I really do. And it's just something that I want to walk through in order to learn, in order to grow. And he was just like, all right, man, cool. You know what I'm saying? And we played some, what was we playing at that time, man? We was rocking Dave East's album, man, straight out, his mixtape, straight out of Harlem. And dope mixtape too, by the way, man. Man, that mixtape is dope, man. I listened to that for like a month straight, just all day. Beats and all that was hitting, man. Lyrics and all that was hitting, man. I was really rocking with that. So, when I get there, I'm super nervous, super nervous. So I go in and I check in, and immediately something inside of me says, okay, you're here now. You've made this decision, and you're going to see this through. You're going to see this decision through to the end of it. And man, I mean, there's so much that I witnessed in there, and so many interesting people that I met in there, man. There's people out there that have real serious issues going on with them, man. And I didn't even want to talk about my issues because it seems it seems so irrelevant compared to what people was really dealing with. You know, I was around a lot of completely broken people. I mean, completely broken. There was no helping them. There's no coming back from them. They weren't crazy. They just was in a lot of pain, man. A lot of pain. A lot of pain. I remember this one sister, when I first went in, I was in a room. I was in this room, and then the sister next to me, she had just got there too, but she was, on heavy drugs, and you could tell she's been on heavy drugs for a long time. Her skin was bad. She just looked bad. She was in bad shape. And, I talked to her for a few minutes just to, get an idea of, kind of, like what happened. That was what was going through my head, like what happened. And I'm not gonna digress because there's so many layers to this one story. There's so many layers to this one thing. I'm not gonna digress into just talking about her, but the experience itself taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It taught me that the Elohim is real. For me to walk through something like that, nervous, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to expect, not knowing how I was going to come out of the other end of it, that's when I really started to understand that the Elohim is real, And then from there, from that place, I went to another place, the Salvation Army. In Patterson, New Jersey. I went over there to the Salvation Army, man. And they came and picked me up from the 5-day detox. They came and picked me up. And when I got there, again, I was nervous. Even on the van ride, I'm nervous. I've been incarcerated, I was never nervous when I was incarcerated, It's just, I don't know. I don't understand. I was never nervous when I went through those situations, but I was nervous going to a place that would help me change. Hmm. Just in this moment, me talking about that, that's when I just realized like there was a difference in those two situations. I wasn't nervous going into, you know, the incarceration system, but I was nervous going to make a change. It's funny how that worked out. But um yeah, once I got to the Salvation Army and I was around all these guys, man, really cool guys, man, really cool guys. I just been through a lot of crazy situations, man. They were also broken. A lot of those guys you couldn't fix, you know, but they tried. They tried. They gave a real effort. A lot of those guys really tried. I met a lot of guys that came in and they did really well, and they when they left, when they got back out there, man, they fell back into the same behaviors and they died. They died. I remember this guy named what was his name, man? What was his name? He looked like McLovin from Superbad. He looked just like that, right? So I remember he was really cool. We worked in the kitchen together for a month straight, every day working side by side in the kitchen, cooking for the whole house. And he left. He left. He went back out into the world. He was strong. He was ready. He had a job set up and everything. His family was waiting for him to come home. He had a real good situation going for himself before he got out of there. And he left. He left. I remember he left around 7 o'clock in the evening. He left, and he went right back to his old self. He got out of there and he sniffed a bag of dope because that was his thing. He was heavily on dope for a long time, and he sniffed a bag of dope and it killed him that same night that he left. And how do I know that? Because we got a phone call. His mom called the place and told us what happened to him. And that hurt, man. That hurt because I worked side by side with that guy and I got to know him. And really, really good guy, really humble guy, man. It's just he couldn't conquer that demon. He couldn't conquer it. And it made me realize that, that entire situation, it made me realize like, man, there really is only one way, man. There really is only one way. You got to keep your eyes on the ball. You got to keep your eyes on the finish line with this life, man. You have to. And I was there for about, the entire process for me was about 6 months. About 6 months, man, excuse me, from the time I called to the time I left, it was about 6 months, about 5.5 months. And my guy, man, who was they called him the house man because he made sure everybody had what they needed and stuff like that. My man, Deron Peterson, man. Deron Peterson, great guy, man, great guy. We were always working out together. We just connected, man. We used to go and eat lunch together and stuff like that. Really great guy, man. And I didn't keep up with him. I should have. I want to know. I want to know if he's doing okay. I hope he's doing okay because he was a really cool guy, man. And I learned a lot about myself in that process. I learned a lot about other people in that process, and I learned a lot about the Elohim in that process. Something in me said, man, something's always been in me, like to want to help people, to want to point people in the right direction. Something's always been in me to do that, to do this, to talk, to speak, to give whatever it is that I have to give to whoever might need it. This is my purpose, and I didn't understand it fully back then, but this is my purpose. But I've always been this way. I've always given people whatever it is that I had to give. But now that I've really stepped into this purpose, now that I've really stepped into it, and I'm still new, I'm still growing, I'm still learning. I'm still a baby in this thing. I'm still just taking it day by day. I'm still building. I'm still creating. I'm still a baby in this life, man. 42 years old. I'm still a baby in this life, man. Even though tomorrow, next week, next month, next year is not guaranteed to me, but I'm still a baby out here. when it comes to life, you know? Because think about it, your first 10 years of your life, you really don't understand anything. Your mind is animated. You just wake up and want to just, have fun and do your thing. Like, you really don't start comprehending things till you're about 12, 13 years old. So long story short, I learned a lot, man, and I wasn't ashamed. And people knew that there was a difference. When I got back, when I left the place and I started making my money again and things like that, and I came back around, people knew that there was a difference, man. People saw the difference. People understood the difference. Sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we have to get away from everybody. When God is calling you out of the world, you got to get away from everybody. Now, mind you, I didn't talk to anybody for the first month and a half. I just disappeared on everybody. I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't tell anybody about my decision. I didn't call anybody from in there, anything. I just completely just disappeared on everybody to go make a real change within myself, within my life. I disappeared on everybody, man. When I finally reached out to somebody, there was my boy, when I first made that decision, I reached out to him. He was like, yo, man, people are looking for you on Facebook. There's like an APB out on you, man. It's people worried about you, man. I said, well, that's pretty cool, man. And I appreciate that people are worried about me, man. But I had to do something. I had to do something for me, and I had to do something for the Elohim. So now, here I am sharing this with you because I thought it would be good. This is something that it's just coming out of me. I don't even know what I'm saying, but it's the truth, and it's coming out of me, man. And I believe that it's raining because the Elohim wants me to do this instead of going outside. Because that's what I was going to do. I was going to go outside and decompress from the work week. But something in me said, nah. And, the rain doesn't stop me from going outside. It's just something said, nah, man, go downstairs and put in some work, man. Talk to people. Give them your testimony, because I gave this testimony to somebody at work. And then in that moment, I said, you know what, other people might need it. So make a video. So here I am. So, get serious about, making a change. Get serious about it. And once you get serious about it and you allow God, the Elohim, Oya, to break you down and lead your steps, right? He has to break you down. You're going to do a lot of crying. You're going to do a lot of crying. You're going to feel empty for a time. But that's when you begin to refill. That's when you begin to refill. You gotta let those things go. Whatever's hurting you, gotta let it go. You gotta let it down. You gotta release it from your spirit. The discontentment in your spirit, you have to release it. And then he begins to make you over. You go through a cleanse. And it takes time. It takes time. It takes time. But like I said in my last video, if I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. So, I hope everyone is in good spirits. It's Friday. I know people are still going to go out. People are still going to be doing their thing. Just be safe. Drink responsibly if that's what you're going to do. And just be responsible in all your ways. Make it back home to your family safe. Back to the people that love you safely. Keep the people out of your life that don't need to be in it. and just focus on being everything that you need to be for the Elohim first. And I guarantee you, he'll take you the rest of the way. He'll take you to places that you never thought that you'd be. You know, I'm introverted. I don't like a lot of attention, and I've always been like shy in front of people, you know. So this is way, way, way out of what I thought I'd be doing at this point in my life, as far as getting on camera and talking and stuff like that, you know, setting up the mic and stuff like that. This is not coming from me. This is just something that's been in my heart to do when I'm at work and things like that. Something just tells me, hey, order this, order that, get this equipment, get that. And I'm seeing visions of my studio, my show, and everything like that. I'm seeing all this stuff clearly, you know. I still struggle with stuff. I still struggle. I'm not perfect. I don't have this down pat. I still struggle with stuff. But I wake up every day and I give it 1,000% to be who the Elohim wants me to be for his kingdom, which is to help people to find him. I can't save you, but I can point you in the right direction. So I'm not going to be too long. I'm not going to be long-winded. I'm just having fun with this thing. I'm still learning. I'm still processing the fact that I'm even getting on here to do this, you know. So I'm amazing myself with this right now. I really am. I really am. And I'm actually getting a little emotional because now I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I know for real that this is really what I'm supposed to be doing. Real priests, organic priests, aren't in churches. They look just like me and you. They out here putting in the real work, man. We are out here putting in the real work. By just trying to win spirits for the Elohim's kingdom. Again, it's Friday. Keep it safe. Keep it sexy. Keep it righteous. And yeah. I'm out.